qualifies toward the back front of the grid, but it will always slow so that he is going to be one of the last riders to arrive back, and any heat in those tyres will be retained in the tyres of those Samsung Honda. We've seen him doing this before when he goes out and just lets everybody go past him, as they now just cool it down through the hairpin and now just slowly trundle up to take up their grid formation, which I remind you is front row 67, Shane Byrne on the Paul Bird Motors, Rapid Solicitors Kawasaki, alongside him number 2 Josh Brooks on the Taiko Suzuki, and then the number 22 of Alex Lowe's on the Samsung Honda. Second row John Kirkham, Yuichi Kinai, PJ Jacobson. Row 3 James Westland, Keith Farmer, Pete Hickman, and the fourth row Chris Walker, Tommy Bridle, Dan Linfoot, before we get James Addison, Jakob Schmerz and Carl Harris, Matteo Biocco, Michael Rutter, Robin Harms, and no further time to go down through that leaderboard, the grid, because they are now taking their grid formation. With a wait upon that green flag to be shown at the back of the grid. The red flag holds at the front of the grid. The sun burns down here. What a wonderful picture of colour it is. It's a slight uphill run before the brow of the hill. The start is just before the brow of the hill here at Knockhill on the start-finish straight. Watch the lights as indicated, ladies and gentlemen. MCE Insurance, British Superbike Racing at Knockhill is go! Good start by Alex Lowe's. Alex Lowe's, and also is going to be Shane Byrne that gets the drag. Alex Lowe's is going to get a whole shot. It's Alex Lowe's from Shane Byrne that gets a whole shot. And Kianari up in the third place. The second of the Samsung Honda moves up in the third place as they go in toward the left-hander of Leslie's, and now down toward the starter for the first time. A scorching start by Kia, but it is Alex Lowe's, and Brooksy was away quickly with them as well. Brooksy is now taking the lead on the run in toward the low part. Brooks and Lowe's and Byrne and Kia. He's going to ring this one from the front. It's Josh Brooks on the Taiko Suzuki. He leads up toward the hairpin. Here comes Shane Byrne on the sliding tighter line in toward the hairpin. Getting those tyres now fully up to working condition. They've been on the artificial warmers. Now the rolling friction brings them up to a full racing temperature. The first lap lead is going to be Taiko Suzuki. Josh Brooks, number 2, to get to head the lap chart at the end of lap number 1. Shane Byrne went through in second place. Lowe's went through third. Kianari, Kirkham, Jacobson, Walker, Farmer, Westland, Hickman, Bridewell, Ellison, Rutter, Linfoot, Harms, Schmerz, Mainwaring, Waters, Costello, and Matteo Biocco rounding out the top 20. No jump starts, no penalties here, but I've got Jack Appley alongside me. Jack, what a cracking start there by the Aussie Brooksy.
Yeah,
that record is held by Shane Byrne at 48.474. The Superbike Evolution, that record, 48.861. I think on this first time lap, they may well be around about that 48.861. It's still Brooksy leading this one on a wide run through the hairpin. That's going to be cost some time there. That would be for one of, that was PJ Jacobson, I think, that ran wide at the hairpin. And Jacobson will be going back a little bit more, will he? That's Brooks, Byrne, Lowe's, Kinari, Kirkham, Walker, Jacobson, Farmer, Westland, Hickman, Bridewell at the end of that lap. And Ellison moving up. James Ellison is definitely moving up through the order, just ahead of Dan Linfoot. Back with the action live out on the circuit as Chris Walker picking up a place on the lower part.
Perfect start for Yuichi Kianari. He's been struggling of late. He just needed to get that start, go off with these front three, but at the moment it looks like it's Brooks and Byrne that are pulling away from Lowe's in third.
He's hanging on there is Alex Lowe's in that third position. The final lap's 48.983 at the end of lap number 1. It won't be slightly quicker than that. I think the last lap he has 49, back in the 49s. So Brooks from Burns, from Lowe's, Kianari, Kirkham, Walker, Farmer, Jacobson, Westland and Ellison rounding out the top 10 at the end of lap number 3. Watching in live time through the chicanery, going through that sweeping left, right, corner of the circuit, and that is the hairpin, the Taylor turn named after the late great Jock Taylor. Taylor's turn, hairpin, and no change of the leading trio. Keo just hanging on. The two leaders are breaking a little ways clear of the two Samsung Hondas. It is the Taiko Suzuki from the Rapid Solicitors Paul Bird Kawasaki, then the two Samsung Hondas, and then it will be John Kirkham having another sterling ride here, Big JK. back with the race leaders though on the bottom part of the circuit. He's a good front runner, is Josh Brooks. He equally can ride and race from behind. I remember that race last year at Thruxton when he came from way back and got across a 5-second gap to take that under all circumstances. Looks on the inside today, looks on the inside with his hairpin. Whether that's a bit of the or for the laps to come, not quite sure, but no determined overtaking attempt coming from Shane Byrne. It remains as Brooksy number 2 from 67 Shane Byrne, from the 22 of Lowe's, then the 23 of Keenari. These four have cleared off ahead now. John Kirkham ahead of Chris Walker, and behind Chris Walker as they go through there, it is Keith Farmer, then PJ Jacobson, James Westman. 14 stop with a technical problem in the chicane. Number 14 is out of it. That is Michael Howarth. Michael Howarth, who started from the back row of the grid. He is a retirement out on the circuit. Intriguing game of chess, I think. That game.
After that last lap, Lowe's was just 0.6 of a second behind Byrne, and I think that gap is going to be even further.
Now the extent of front-end braking these guys are experiencing on the run into the hairpin, coming down from about 145, 148 miles an hour down to that 20 mile an hour at the apex hairpin. The back end of the Samsung Honda's fishtailing, particularly with Kia, that bike is just fishtailing left and right, almost slapping any of the rider in the face. It would be if there was any other rider there, which of course there ain't, because these four are well clear at the moment. It is Brooks from Byrne, from Lowe's, from Keenari. Kirkham is now some 2.5 seconds back, heading the second charge. Just looking to Michael Rutter there. Where is he on the fence? Number 67 of Shane Byrne. The body language to me, is looking on his side. He's not let the brakes run.